Radiant
should probably
team
close this.
banned.
I feel like all these websites, all the shitty ads on them are gonna tax the company. Okay, better safe.
Radiant team pick.
All right, ready?
Welcome back, everybody, to game number 2 in this best of 3 showdown here live at Epicenter. Group stage action coming your way in a battle to avoid being at the bottom. It's Clutch Gamers taking on Planet Odd with myself, LD, and Purge, bringing you all the action. The bans, Kevin, largely the same. The one slight difference is Clutch Gamers do ban that Nyx, which they used quite effectively, but they leave everything else that Planet Odd wanted to run against them available in the pool.
Yeah, so they're going to open with the tree again. I think it was effective. Rubik's going to be the response. I'm still not sold on Rubik being the super strong hero. I think it has to be very special hands that have to use it. I think Misery did a good job, but he didn't feel OP to me. Still a Night Stalker. Still could be a Night Stalker here. And they're going to grab the Rubik Mag. So basically going to take all Planet Odd's heroes.
Yeah, they're just trying to use their own strats against them.
Well, I mean, thinking about how fast that troll farm last game, if he had a Magnus on his team as well, ooh.
It would have been dirty.
Yeah.
I honestly think Planet Odd may well ban the troll just because Clutch Gamers run it all the time. It was their main go-to hero coming into this event. So, you know, if Planet Odd have done any research, they almost certainly have seen that. Of course, there's other heroes that you can run with the Mag, but
that's true.
Reserve time.
Certainly a comfort pick.
I still think Planet Odd's looking very wishy-washy, though. I'm not sold on their teamfight execution. I'm not sold on them being perfectly efficient. Like, the game went pretty well. It went very well for like 20 minutes, and after that, it was kind of
pretty
shaky.
Sloppy. Let's be honest. And the other thing is, like, I don't feel like they have a clear identity as a team. I think that's my bigger concern. Like, the first game of this tournament, they ran Bristleback, Tinker, and Lone Druid. Like, super greedy Tricore with a Keeper of the Light who also wanted to farm in the jungle.
Yeah.
They've run some games where it's a lot more up-tempo. Then they went back to this, like, ultra late game strategy with the Magnus, the Midas, the, you know, heavy farming emphasis. It's just like they don't really know how they want to play the patch. I guess it is a new patch. Teams are figuring out, but the teams that are doing well seem to have like their comfort picks. Most of them are playing more aggressively also. We haven't really seen like greed and late game work out too often, at least not without a strong early game to set it up. So I'm more worried about them like strategically than anything else.
Yeah, and it is tough coming into a tournament and hitting the ground running like that, especially when the first match you played, who did they play against? VP?
Yeah.
First match they played was arguably top 2, top 3 team here, and then the next team that they ended up playing was EG.
Who also look like top 2, top 3.
I mean, if you don't get off on a good running start, feel some confidence in some heroes, if you don't want to fully copy somebody else and still try to get your own path, then sometimes you're gonna miss things a little bit. But even with that, I still think, like you said, their execution is leaving something to be lack. So, yeah, you called it. They banned out the troll. They grabbed an axe, which, like we saw last game, was pretty effective against any melee high DPS carry. And once again, Klink's banned.
Yeah, so Clutch sticking to their guns with their second phase bans, Planet Odd making the adjustment. I do like the troll ban, just because they run it so much. Jug is probably like the other most popular mag partner. I mean, there's lots of other things you can run with it, but what are you thinking from this point forward? Anything jumping out at you with this axe pick? Planet Odd also stealing Clutch's heroes.
I guess it gives them aggressive dual lane potential. That part's kind of good for Planet Odd. So if there's maybe something they could abuse core-wise once Clutch's other picks are more revealed, perhaps. But really, it just looks to me like it's the solution of being good against the melee core that with Blade Mail later. Also, it might force Moon to actually participate in the game a little bit more. He won't buy a Midas this game, guaranteed.
What? Hitting heroes, not creeps?
Yeah, no Midas at 26 minutes, yeah.
And not being an Empower bot either, although that must be painful.
Well, you like that a little.
Clutch, heavy physical damage now. They grab the Slardar.
I'd say it's pretty good against Axe, too. It's just decent lockdown, high mobility, so it's a little hard for Axe to guarantee kills against Slar.
Is support Slardar? I mean, we haven't really seen much of this here. In the offlane, it's been quite ineffective just because it gets zoned so hard.
It's been a while since offlane Slardar was popular. I mean, S4 played it one game, I think, the other day. Maybe that was the one against LFY, but pretty much exclusively a 4 position. And definitely is good at trading in the early game. So I could see it working in that vein. Slaughter, Rubik, good enough damage, good enough right click. I think they can stabilize their safe lane a bit. Because I mean, Magnus mid is okay, but it's just beaten by a lot of things, and it doesn't give as much tempo as a lot of other heroes, because you still have to farm a Blink Dagger in a lot of cases before the hero is effective.
He's got Empower, Kevin. He'll be fine.
He does, yeah.
Oh, Planet Odd. Big team fight combo.
Mm-hmm.
Treant, Phoenix duo. Also great against these melee cores. Rubik certainly is not going to be sitting around hitting the egg in most fights.
Mm-hmm. And this one kind of came out of nowhere. Like, a lot of the times for Liquid, it's really predictable. They've been picking it often with their Tusk, but with the Tree pick first, especially after they did it last game, I think it's something that's going to catch Clutch a little off guard. Now that's 2 melee heroes, very likely going to be a third one, and they're against a Phoenix. Like this is.
Do you just like change course and say screw it, we're going to get Alina or something? You know, even if it's maybe not the best Magnus partner, like some long-ranged hero, or
maybe
do you not overly worry about this?
Could Sniper work? I guess.
They say screw it, we don't care about your egg. We're going to be Ember.
But this does give Planet Odd some 1v1 matchup advantage potential here. Who's the best Ember counter? I mean, Earth Spirits or Earthshaker has been the popular one lately, actually.
Disruptor has been pretty popular in this tournament as well.
Yeah, could
but
be.
They already have their support duo, so.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Planet Odd really has a lot of the basics they need. They've got like gank, they've got AoE disable, they've got super good team fight. They're maybe lacking some easy setup kind of stuff, but I feel like it leaves Planet Odd with this huge realm of picks that they can go for at this game.
Yeah, they still need the Wii hero. Resolutions also to be determined as of yet, so we've seen the Resolution Razor quite often.
Could maybe see an Invoker as well. It's decent against Ember Spirit. It's popular. Genting, it's been definitely a huge impact in the last set at least. The OG versus.
Yeah, Weehaw used to, I mean, before he was even known for his meepo. Invoker back when he was on Balkan Bears Corleone was actually his big playmaking hero. That was way back in the day. They go for OD, so another hero that's great against melee. Should be able to crush Ember in the lane pretty easily.
Good in team fights. Especially if it gets BKB, he should be fairly safe. I'm curious if somebody's going to go Ags OD, but it doesn't really seem like it. People picked him a few times. Nobody touches it.
These lanes look really good for Planet Odd.
10 seconds remaining.
I think if Clutch Gamers had a better off lane, they could definitely bully a Phoenix Treant, but I assume it's going to have to be Magnus, no matter what. Ember safe lane is. There's no way. There's no way you'll do that against an Axe. That sounds way too dangerous. It's kind of boom or bust, I guess.
Especially
it
with
could
the
work.
tree. Like that could be really ugly.
Yeah, that's
it's
really
a lot
true.
of physical damage.
Yeah, he could set that up really easily. I think Planet Odd's gonna be really happy with what they're sitting with. Like obviously, there's gonna be Empower, Sleight of Fist, which is very dangerous to deal with, especially with the bonus 30 damage that he could go for. But laning stage wise, I definitely agree. I think Planet Odd's in a good spot, and OD historically does lane well against Ember. He do a lot of banish play since he's a melee hero.
This is a good comeback lineup for Clutch Gamers. So I'm already feeling like they're gonna get crushed in the lanes. A lot of farm potential, a lot of late game damage.
They're not the only team that has resorted to that. I saw Navi do that yesterday too.
Right.
They were like, let's grab Magnus and Enigma.
They lost that game though, right?
They did, but it was real close. It was a very close game.
Good for morale. Being competitive. Unfortunately, what would be bad for morale is coming close and losing this game means Clutch Gamers is 0-3 in the group.
Yes, that would be not so good.
And actually, I think they're at that point. Are they guaranteed?
I think they're eliminated 100.
Because did they play IG yet? No, IG's the last team
they
lost to IG.
I'm looking at the wrong group.
So they lost to IG. They would have then also lost. So yeah, even if all 3 teams tied, 3-way tie, they would have been the one team that lost to both. So assuming head-to-head is a deciding factor, they would be eliminated.
Yeah, because Planet Odd wins this, then they win the head-to-head.
So this is absolutely a must-win for Planet Odd.
Yes, or they're out, no matter what. No, I was thinking
Clutch.
Sorry,
for Clutch.
Yeah.
Assuming the tiebreakers work like normal.
5
but
seconds.
All right, we're
it
getting
could work
a little
both ways,
ourselves.
and they'd be set because they won that other game from one of the other sets. I think, assuming they win that one.
Yeah, Planet Odd not going to be allowed to use Slark this time. It's banned out now. Resolution. Yeah. Resolution is a pretty wide hero pool. He's been to me the most stable player on Planet Odd. So.
Yeah. No doubt about that. And I think they banned it just because Planet Odds need... Obviously, Treant can set up kills, but they don't have very mobile heroes around the map. It's basically like Axe OD, kind of, but OD's mobile, but you're almost always going to see him coming. So something like Slark could have been paired really well with Treant that gap closes, interrupts Magnus RPs, or hits the backline and kills Rubik before the fight starts. Something like a Shadowblade hero could have worked really well there. But I doubt they'll be able to go that vein now. They'll have to do something I think something independent is good. Something with good lockdown would be great. Something that can help catch Ember Spirit.
Void. Not great at catching Ember, but good lockdown.
Might be a little too team fight reliant. And I think it's bad against Slardar as well, and bad against Magnus. So
Warcry is great against Empower Corrosive Haze.
Kind of, because the cleave ignores armor.
That's true.
But yeah, each target that gets hit, yes. Definitely good against Corrosive Haze though.
I think Clutch are like okay at kiting the Sven. I wouldn't say they're amazing. But
I think the Sven's a good pick though. It's fairly independent. He's gonna have a blink dagger. He's gonna have a lot of damage output. If somebody gets out of position, he's just gonna blow him up. And it gives him somebody that can just run into the fight and do a crap load of damage. And it's not as reliant on like Treant and Phoenix getting an egg overgrowth combo. It's not necessarily reliant on just Axe. It's like anybody on Planet Odd can do something in this game, and that feels really good.
So Clutch rounded out with the Gabby Weaver, getting an elusive hero in a game where there's like okay lockdown for a Weaver, not incredible.
I think they're going to do aggro try, pretty sure. I think it's going to be Weaver, Slardar, Rubik. They'll put Magnus safe against an Axe. Maybe that's too dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, who's going to 1v1 an Axe?
It'd have to be Weaver if they do that then, which would have to be Magnus,
Slardar, Rubik tri-lane. It's tough. I don't know if they can run a tri-lane.
So they either give Magnus the bad matchup, or they just do Mag off lane and do the safe lane, and then rotate the supports early maybe, and then leave Weaver solo.
Have good dual lanes is the other, like, yeah, these Clutch Gamers lanes are feeling problematic.
I think Mag Slar can work, actually. I think that's fine, because then you'd have Weaver Rubik against an Axe, that's fine. And then Magnus can get a couple more levels. Could work out.
See how it pans out. Clutch Gamers, they need a win here to stay alive in the tournament, else they are effectively eliminated. No way to break a tie and come out on top going into that final day, even if they win their last series.
They got to win this game and then one after. They got to win this best of 3 to stay in the tournament, 100%.
They need a game win, honestly. I don't think they haven't had one yet between this and Manila Masters, right? Oh no, they took a game off of IG
Prepare for battle.
at Manila Masters. I think they lost 2-1 them. Either way, it's not looking great right now, but some signs of life in that last game, even in defeat. Meanwhile, Planet Odd, 2nd place at the International 2016, looking like a far cry from that, but it is a new patch that they're still figuring out as they scrap to stay in the running to move out of these groups here at Epicenter. So, team's going to move out. Clutch Gamers straight down mid on the smoke. Phoenix in pretty good position to break this up on the high ground. Clutch Gamers dropping the ward, getting eyes on him now. By Solo marching in, and they do get Old Man Misery. They're going to pull him back into the crush. He actually used the Icarus dive right as the crush came out, and down he goes. That's an unexpected gift, and finally, Clutch Gamers start a game on the right foot.
Yeah, really rough actually for Phoenix that he had to get dive level 1. That means that his laning stage is going to be even worse than before. And it does look like it'll be an aggro try. They'll put Magnus in the safe lane. It's going to be Weaver, Slar, Rubik.
They just keep on charging in here. 3-hero aggression.
I guess they give up now? Nope, they're going back in again.
They want this bounty room. Moon's trying to answer back, dueling with Rappy early. Looks like it'll be a full try-on-try scenario, at least to start. Clutch Gamers securing the bonus rune if Rappy got his, and indeed he did. So
he did have to use Skewer though, which is kind of a big negative, I'd say. I don't know if that's worth it in the end. Then Power would have gotten him more last hits, and Shockwave maybe as well. Now Moon can just bully him like crazy. But I guess it's going to happen either way, and he's actually just going to cut creeps. This makes it even worse what Rappy just did, because Power at least would help him kill the creep wave faster, so he's going to lose a lot of HP to creeps.
Toxic getting aggro in the bottom lane, has the Oov, getting to work on Boombacks, forcing him away. So obviously that top lane is going to be an easy win for Moon unless he does something super silly. Mid lane, OD versus Ember, also pretty easy for the OD. So Clutch Gamers, even with the first blood, even with the bounty rune win, it feels like this tri lane has to work, Kevin.
Yeah, it definitely can, but I still don't have the most faith in a Phoenix and a Treant Protector. It's just very weak in some cases. It's going to be just fine right now. Level 1, I think they're okay, but it's got to be a lot of Soxo doing this, just bullying people, walking in and hitting, and trying to make up for the fact that Phoenix has no armor and has very weak output.
We trying to dominate mid, though Armel's doing pretty well in the CS department, all things considered. For now, at least staying even. Very early days here in the lanes. Rappy still waiting for his level 2 so he can get that first farming skill, be it in power. or be at the shockwave. But it's actually okay for Clutch Gamers in their 1v1s. Kind of expect these to get worse, but so far at least giving up too much.
See if it changes much once we gets a couple more points into his skills. Going for 2 Essence Aura, just to continue casting more. Every banish should be a last hit, most likely. Comes a Moon picking up level 3. Magnus is 2. He's doing fairly fine, but he is out of tangos now. Just use his last one. Moon's got a whole salve advantage now. And once he gets boots, the kill potential is definitely going to be there. Got to get Rappy low first.
Yeah, we're starting to bully Armel, but still Armel keeping up in terms of last hits. Actually shoving this wave and times the Flame Guard well, and bottom lane, everything just fine. So
good side pull for Misery. So they're going to deny a lot of creeps here.
He is actually right now getting out CS'd by the Ember. That is very surprising. And the bottle's coming soon, so Armel in good shape.
I mean, OD definitely has an advantage in some ways, but it's also possible as well for Ember to abuse this.
They get the lift off in the bottom lane. They make their move forward. Decent stun. Follow-up comes through, but the crush is there on 2. Sangsa trying to finish off solo before he goes down, but it's not going to happen. Will they even get this fly solo kill? They won't. He scurries away, and now Rezo in the river, crushed again. Clutch Gamer snowballing this lane nicely. Good damage with the Swarm bringing resolution. Dangerously low in the armor department. He does stick up. He doesn't quite have the mana for a follow-up Stormbolt. Unfortunately, just a bit short. And that last auto attack combined with the Fade Bolt secure the kill. Clutch Gamers make it 3-0, doing still well in mid. Obviously, struggling quite a bit here in the top lane. Rappy down by 12 CS, but staying alive, at least for now.
Yeah, a little tough for resolution there, but a rare mistake. He ends up trying to get the Rubik kill. He isn't able to catch up, and as a result, he has a long way to run back to home. He could have just backed up, not taken the bad trade, and not lost 2. So that cost him a lot in his lane. Wonder if he'll even grab more stun levels or something like that to make the laning stage go better, but we'll see how he tries to adjust with this.
And generally, you don't want to be forced into that as a spend.
Absolutely not.
At least not as the one position that we see nowadays.
With Slarter having boots and Windlace and sprint on top of that, it's just very difficult to be perfectly effective as Sven.
On the top lane, they put the pressure on Rappy. Sangsa made the rotation. Moon diving him under the tower, just needs that one spin, gets off the shockwave. A tree punch will finish him, and Moon makes it away. As meanwhile, mid, we able to force Armel off the rune, and fortuitously for him, it does spawn as a DD.
Great rotation by Soxa. Like, we already knew that Axe had the lane advantage here, so all he has to do then is show up at the right time, add a little bit to the gank or whatever pressure Axe is trying to do, and he gets a kill. Just tops over to 5, so Magnus definitely losing his lane now. Doubling the CS for Axe. So I'm sure we'll see another rotation come out. Maybe it could be Axe coming, maybe Tree back to the bot lane. But for now, it's going to be bad for ODD in the safe due to that last couple trades.
Sven being forced to lob out Storm Bolts here for last hits.
It's not a good place, but he has a clarity at least.
Getting that mana in the trees. Misery getting his levels. And they have basically abandoned the full tri-lane. And that could be punished as Gabby looks for the dive onto Misery. He goes, does have the Icarus dive available. Still keeping the vision here. A crush is going to finish him off almost instantly. The Stormbolt not connected on Gabby. TP coming in, but Boomback scurrying back towards safety. Soxa arriving as well. And they lift Rezo. They disengage. Good stun there. Connecting on 2 heroes. Still chasing.
Stun in 2.
But not willing to commit any farther forward.
It's just so hard for them to guarantee kills here. Everybody they want to kill has a lot of HP. And if Phoenix goes down at the start and he doesn't throw down like 4 Fire Spirits, then it's not reliable kills. That's just the issue with these two. They're very, very weak in a tri-lane together. One of them can work in many situations, but
that is a value shrine right there.
Oh god, 4 heroes.
4 heroes.
It's like a 2K MMR game. And you just sit there and you're like, everybody run!
Shrine up, boys!
You stand there for 45. That one was efficient though. Oh, and they get a D-ward. Their old sentry here. That's so unfortunate for the odd gamers.
Be moving in now, and they are going to be bringing the Rubik back down into the fold. Out in front as the Slarter, the Swarm coming through. They commit the war cry for a defensive retreat, and Misery not feeling like a hero in these engagements, constantly running for his life. Boomback's wanting to go in on him with just a shred of HP. Felt like if they had the Ember there, they could have dove for 2-3 kills, but Armel did decide to go back towards mid.
No TP on him either, so it would have been hard to rotate.
Yeah, Weeha is getting some much needed me time. 41-19 now. The Ember spent quite a bit of time off the lane.
He's going to get a really fast Midas too if things continue on this pace. So.
Are you deathly afraid of the OD this game? Is this like a game where OD just takes over?
I mean, I'm not thinking about the hero matchups just yet, but the way that his lane has been going is really good. And generally I find that if OD gets a Midas at a really good time in the laning stage, he gets completely out of control. Like, it just feels like a super OP hero. But
and Clutch gamers feel that way too. They're sending 3 to gank that OD.
This is definitely very good. And the huge issue for OD here is he's only got level 1 disable, so the cast range is so low that they're going to be on top of him before he can even banish. This is really bad for him.
He's up a tiny bit far. Can they commit? They get the chains opening by Armel, self-banish. Not going to last all that long. They've got the lift to follow this up. The crush is ready as well. They toss him back in to the flames. Can they roast him in time? No support coming as of yet. Decent blocking. Meanwhile, Gabby finds a kill of his own on Saksa bottom. Still Wee on the run. Wants the...
No shrine.
No shrine. Where's my shrine? Where's my shrine? Nowhere to be found.
Well,
down he goes.
Made him waste their time, and that was 3 remnants. That's probably best case other than getting a kill. Can't be too upset about that one. And a lot of space made, but unfortunately, Resolution not able to get a kill in the meantime, of course.
I did not see how the tree died, but Weaver getting a solo kill while they're 3-man ganking your mid.
Really?
Is pretty bad.
Yeah, that's not a good thing. He's got a lot of right-click damage, and Blightstone against those heroes, low armor heroes is
Again,
great.
the pressure. Resolution in the bottom lane. Goes for this TP out, no points in bash yet. It's a very low-level support tree, so I'll take it out.
Man, what a tough game here.
6-1, and still only a slight gold lead, though, because they're just farming so well in these 2 cores.
Yeah.
Moon, who's been quiet. Devany is close to a blink.
Yeah, he's actually really close. Ooh, nope, no sniped here. All right, this is a case where Phoenix is actually effective. Doesn't have to worry about dying, just worried about chasing and doing damage. Nothing else matters.
Can't mess this one up.
Okay.
All right, neutral stint tonight.
You clenching on that one too?
Yeah, a little bit. It's like, he needs this. He needs this.
I would have felt physical pain here if that one happened too. Sox is trying to delay the push here. He's going to pull the creep to the right and go invis. No detection on these two, so it's going to work actually.
I do like the way Clutch is playing this though, really pressuring this tower, because this tower goes down, you can starve out the Sven a lot. He really wants to be just clearing stacks in the jungle constantly. Yeah. Get those deep wards down, try to limit his economy, so yeah, it's a nice idea for them.
A couple of ganks on him make the game very different, but even if they do take a safe lane, he's definitely one of the best carries for ignoring that because of all these cleave levels. Maybe he could have done better in the laning stage with more points and stun or something. But
poor Rappy, he's been under the gun in this top lane and will be so again. But the call, the chop, they get the job done. It does mean this bottom tower, entirely undefended, will be dropping eventually though. Yep. They stall it out with the living armor as best they can. Looking for the trade top. Gabby is up to tank it, and it looks like Planet Odd will get the trade. So a tier 1 of their own. Resolution snagging the last one.
So not all bad for them. The fact that they traded in those kinds of laning circumstances, I think it's completely worth it. OD is just now going to pick up his Midas, so unless...
Oh, nice job by Saksa. I just saw the smoke by Clutch Gamers, got a glimpse of it. Gabby immediately at the creep wave using Sakuchi.
He sees him too. He knows time lapse is on cooldown.
They know what's happening, and there's a blink on Moon though. He's joining himself bottom. He goes for the blink call, a swing, and another miss by Moon.
Oh, why would he do it so early? All he had to do is wait for the tree hit. Maybe he didn't realize time lapse is on cooldown, but that should have been a guaranteed kill. Like half HP Weaver, no time lapse. You just land the tree punch, and you get the follow-up call. That was a gimme, and they choked it.
And I guess Saksa had his camera elsewhere when the Weaver was hanging tower, because he was in the bottom lane. So.
Okay. Yeah, maybe.
If anything, Saksa should have seen the time lapse was on cooldown.
Yeah, it's possible. Or a miscommunication. I'm not sure which way it went.
Well, painful. Revealing the blink. Not able to get the kill. They are still leading here. They've got their OD Midas.
Very wisely, they rotate the Weaver again to lane the Sven's in, because there's not that much that the Sven can do to limit Weaver's farm. Other than hit creeps and cleave him. Just get a big enough sword.
Yeah, it's kind of annoying for the Weaver, like trying to farm in the lane. Can't really harass the Sven on your own and constantly taking that damage.
But he doesn't have regen and the Weaver does, so I feel like the Weaver's in a better position here.
True.
And anytime that Resolution wants to go for a kill, you can always just Sakuchi dodge it, time lapse. You've got solutions. I don't think Sven's in a more dangerous place, especially if rotations.
Gabby backing up now as Odd make their move up to the high ground. They bypassed a couple of wards here with the smoke, but also the jungle is empty, so it's a suspicious maneuver in that sense. The dire deep wards reveal nothing.
And again, the Phoenix in the lead, breaks the smoke. They realize the gank's coming.
Another blink, another miss. And Clutch Gamers mounting the defense now. They're going to crush the wave, try to push this lane out. They do not want to give Planet Odd any creep momentum towards the tower.
Wehouse playing really aggressive here, but the Midas is up, the Treads is up, and the advantage is pretty much secured at this point. The gold graph is very, very even. But I do have more faith in the late game of Odd. That's an understatement. Phoenix with Treant, you've got a Midas had a good timing on OD. Sven is always going to be Sven. He's going to hit creeps. He can get a lot of farm. And on the other side, it's basically just like Empower with Sleight of Fist and a little bit of Weaver. But Weaver, I find, feels a little underwhelming late game. It's more like the utility you get from the laning stage and the pieces after that. So I feel like this is a little bit better for Odd.
With all the physical damage buffs they have, the Swarm, Empower, and Corrosive Haze, do you go for that physical damage Ember this game?
Oh yeah, absolutely, I think. I don't think there's any way that you get the spell amp. It's just, it's iffy. Like, it's only 8% now. It's definitely decent, but there's going to be BKBs on Sven. OD's going to have to buy a BKB at some point. I just don't think you pass it up. Especially with Empower, like, it's bonus cleave. That's an extra, what, 15 damage being cleaved? Not to mention 30 on the direct hit. Super worth it.
It certainly feels like the synergy is there for Armel, but he's still contemplating.
Thinking about skills. I mean, the fourth point in Searing Chains is very good. Yeah, he just grabbed it. So I don't blame him for making this move. At the very least, delaying the talent tree by a level or two is completely reasonable. There's actually a lot of pros that have been delaying things, even until like 13, 14, 15. And like Crystal Maiden sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get all the skills eventually, right? Whereas the talents sometimes affect the course of the game in a much more permanent way.
Yeah, absolutely. Wee's farming really well. Level 12 now. Let's take a look at the hero levels. I did notice that the supports on the Dire team were a little bit below, and that's still the case. And considering they're against a tree and a Phoenix, usually that's something that you can take an advantage of over your opponents, but I mean, with those two heroes not even 6 yet, or at least just now getting 6 on the Rubik and almost 6 on the Slar, that's kind of dangerous. So he's under farm now. His laning pressure on the Slar was good, but now he doesn't feel like he does anything.
Fly Solar finally cracking level 6 and will steal the level 4 Astral. Pretty big playmaking potential with this ability, especially against an Axe. You know, you get called, just back that hero immediately.
That's a great point. It's basically like a better version of Shadow Demon. It's maybe the best way to describe it.
Certainly as Rubik, you'll bring a lot more to the table later on. There's Sven, Resolution, getting the Master Mana, standard Sven build for now.
And the mana perk as well, definitely the right choice. Yeah, he does go the damage on Ember. Slar is just waiting. He's waiting for the game.
So I wonder, do we see them get more aggressive? There is a Magnus Blink, he rushed it, skipped the Arcanes, and potentially opportunity for a fight here. They're actually going to go to the south, the tree narrowly missing them. This rotation, don't think he had any vision of this.
Yeah, he went for the bounty instead. I mean, they definitely want to fight. They've been sitting in the mag behind mid with the Blink Dagger for a bit. Did not catch. Oh, the tree did spot the courier, though. They know where people are. Maybe he can use that to defend the gank. But no, Odie's in trouble.
He might get the free courier. In the meanwhile, though, Weehaw does get caught out mid. Goes for the self-banish. Skewer available. And he will time it pretty well, but the Rubik interrupts it. Looks like it should be good enough. With the lift back into the tower, follow-up damage is there from the Ember. They score the kill anyway. Now chasing for more as Moon's on the run here. Gabby pursuing. That is a tough hero to bring down solo, but he's trying for it with the Shockwave follow-up. They get the kill. Clutch Gamers diving deeper and looking for more. Meanwhile, Misery in danger as well. Clipped by the chains. He gets picked off just like that. 3 have fallen, and Saksa caught out here by the detection. Has to commit the overgrowth just to secure his own retreat. I don't even know if he does it. Chaining forward. Armel connects with the Remnant, and they get the kill. It's a triple. It's 4 for Clutch Gamers. It looked like 1, and that would probably be it.
It looked like 1 by 1, but it was just Clutch Gamers doing such a good job and slowly snagging 1 by 1. And they all kind of were in the area, though it didn't even seem greedy by them, but they just all got picked off, every single one. I think they all played it right once they got engaged on, but they just dead.
That Planet Odd have this amazing team fight, but when you're just going in one at a time, you don't want to waste those ults. The tree used his, he died anyway.
Yeah, Phoenix using his, he definitely would have gotten blown up.
Yeah,
but
that's just feeding the egg. Wow, that turned the tides real fast. All of a sudden, even game, all that hard work just gone in an instant.
They get a D ward on the cliff as well, so just further control of the game here.
do have to worry losing a fight like that with an Ember who has this much backup. Why Solo could self-banish in the mid lane. Might be able to turn things around. Do they bring in reinforcements? No resolution here.
Oh, that was actually a mistake by Weehaw there. He actually banished the Rubik. The Axe Call only caught the Weaver then.
Was that not the stolen?
It was not.
Okay.
Because the banish came out on the, who was it, Sven afterwards, who was walking forward to go for the stun.
Gotcha.
And it cast it instantly, so. Yeah, a little bit of mistake there by Weehaw. They do pop ultimate. They're going to try to take the tower. And maybe Rappy's going to go for the RP. He's got it off cooldown.
Blink call again. This time on the Rubik. Banish this mother effort, but he won't be able to. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, Gabby finds a solo kill in Misery. So still they're getting these trades all around the map. They have the ultimate available here from Magnus.
Yeah, I thought they would go in, but I guess Ember Spirit's Slight was on cooldown. He wasn't empowered. He only had 1 Remnant. It would have been a little hard against 3 super tanky heroes. So just holds it instead, lose their tower, and they'll just have to look for more kills.
Kevin is just really not working out right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they have the big team fight, but he was a liability in the lane. He's been a liability so far in the mid game. Obviously, we still haven't seen them get that good team fight combo, so the jury is out, but it's for now feeling like a real anchor around their legs.
Regular physical carries are just so good against Phoenix. Like, the lack of armor is just very taxing. And all it takes is being a little out of position, and you just kind of end up feeding. So you have to be near your allies, they have to cover you, you don't have to disable. You don't want to pop your ulti if it's not going to get a good trade. A lot of those circumstances are impossible to avoid against a Weaver. So again, Clutch Gamers is sitting, covering each other. They don't have Astral anymore, though. And they're going to try to set up and kill Ember, perhaps.
There's a little help behind him, but there is a lane war that I believe saw Boomback's moving here, and the Blink Call starts it off. Follow-up coming through. Decent work done by Weehaw, but a good crush might buy him a bit of time. The egg says no, and now Boomback's on the run. They could get a 2-for-1 special. They have that follow-up Blink. It's cooling down soon. He continues to sprint away. Moon whiffing the call again.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Not quite able to get it.
He just got that Ember Spirit man here over here talking shit. What the?
Let's be honest, it's not been the best tournament.
Yeah, definitely not. But he's been doing pretty good this game, I think. Helps to have a lane advantage, I think. Looks like Moon's going to set up mid, looking for a kill of his own. He's got a Blade Mail too, so he can definitely grab somebody like Weaver. Would be a fantastic snatch. They rotate back to the top lane.
Spreading the map a little bit now. Rappy pushing this top lane. Reinforcements in the neighborhood as Gabby is going to find Misery. Once again, this poor Phoenix just getting wrecked all game long. Moon's there, but well, not getting the spins that he was hoping for. That Blade Mail largely ineffective. His fly solo doesn't hit very hard. Chasing in, but Rappy looks to turn it with the chains. Do they really want to commit on this? They're bringing in the Magnus as well, but coming in from behind is the Tramp Protector. They get the Moon kill. That's painful, and now they're looking for Wee too. Boomback's on the hunt, has the blink. He gets him crushed mid, 4-step away. He won't be able to retreat too easily. Wee getting locked down. The RP there as well. Amp damage over the top. Excuse me, Corrosive Haze. Clutch Gamers make it 2, and now more importantly against the Tram Protector, make it a tower.
Once again, odd, they're just spread out again. They went on different targets. The Tram Protector initiated on the Magnus to try to keep him from blinking, and then on the other side, the Phoenix gets killed at the start. Axe tries to go for the solo kill. He gets over-eager, crossing into the river, and then Resolution, who TP'd to the tower, has to walk from the tower all the way over there. It's just they're on different pages, and this has been a repeating issue. They're not playing together as a team.
It's very discombobulated.
Yeah.
It's just hard to believe that this is the same core 4 that finished second at TI. It's not like, oh, they're getting outplayed and they're losing. Like, that's understandable. Clutch Gamers is a good team. It's more, to your point, the way that they're losing fights, the way that the game's falling apart, where they're just not on the same page at all.
Yeah, feels really weird. Weeha's still getting items. He's got a 4-staff now, but Clutch Gamers, this is the first big net worth advantage we've seen all game. 3,000 gold advantage now towards them. And almost a battlefield for Ember Spirit in case Empower wasn't good enough. It's been cleaving like 85%.
I just had to double check that Owen wasn't having a FAP.
Yeah, he does like cleave.
There's an Ember Spirit with cleave and Corrosive Haze. Yeah, now he's excited. Lost in the world of the Switch.
The Phoenix I'm watching may see Moon-timed Hand of Midas this game. It's got the gloves.
More forgivable for Misery, I think.
That's true. He is a support.
4 position. And certainly a Phoenix without items is not a useful hero.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess there's not really a lot of other good solutions. Maybe something like Windlace or an Urn, perhaps, could be better, but usually Urn goes on tree.
Setting up here with that Astral that he stole previously, and it's on to Moon. Now they crush a bit deeper, looking to lock down Resolution so they can isolate Moon. Up on the high ground, they clip him and lock him in position. The Swarm keeps the vision for now. They chase forward for more, though. They want that Phoenix. He will finally drop the Supernova. Likely futile, though a good overgrowth is setting it up for success. They're not able to kill the second time. It goes kaboom. Bit underwhelming. They have lost Moon in the meanwhile. Clutch Gamers still winning the fight. And hey, just cherry on top, Kevin. They forced out 2 ults and got that kill anyway.
Yeah, that's really not bad at all. And all it was is just one less Phoenix kill. That's all they got out of it.
Radiant's top tower
Just so hard for them to take the engagements. There's a vision advantage for their opponents. Most of their cores just get bullied wherever they are, and they just have, like, I feel like Axe should be the one to find heroes and get kills, but it's just a lot easier for Clutch Gamers to split push. Weaver can push lanes really rapidly and get out and change positions, whereas on the other side, Odd's a lot more limited with their movement. They don't even have Blink Dagger yet on Sven, and that's really hurting his ability to get solo kills and Clutch feeling threatened on the map. Like, the only way that Odd gets kills is if it's like Axe plus Sven or like OD plus 2 supports. They're not as self-sufficient as Clutch Gamers are.
Clutch Gamers are feeling the advantage right now. Gabby diving past tier 2 towers, hunting for that Phoenix. Misery has to hug the high ground here. Still working on the Midas. Weehout goes for the trade. He'll get that tier 1. And meanwhile, we do see Tree creeping in from behind. But Saksa has to be wary. There is a sentry ward in the neighborhood, and Fly Solo seems poised to punish here. Tree poking his head up, and they find him. They corral him with the crush. They zap him down. It's just, it feels like too many Planet Odd players trying to make solo plays, trying to be the hero.
I mean, they were thinking about pressuring there. Maybe he looks for a cancel TP, or maybe he gets ready for a team fight, but they don't even have Supernova for 8 seconds. They hadn't TP'd Resolution yet. Maybe he just sits farther back and waits for a better opportunity.
You know, Clutch Gamers, the definition of a 5-man death ball here as they surge into the Radiant jungle.
Oh, no.
Looking for Rezo. Will they hit this Crush Chains combo? You betcha. Now the follow-up Shockwave, and he is going to try to work his way back. He's got the tree helping keep him alive, but they toss him. They control him for now. And the Ember goes again. Sleight of Fist there. Good pile drive back into the waiting arms of that physical damage Remnant. We'll finish him off. Armel hitting for almost over 300 damage a punch with this double damage and power combination.
They did get something done with it, though, and it was a Weaver kill on the other side of the map. That's why we didn't see anybody actually back up Resolution. Getting the kill makes it pretty worth it. 700 gold for that Weaver grab.
Oh, fishing for Moon. Moon still in the trees, going for the TP out. The scan's going to find him. Skewer slightly off the mark, and it looks like he will retreat. It was a little dicey, but he gets out. So yeah, as you said, Kevin, 1 for 1. Not the worst trade in the world, considering the way the game's been going for Planet Odd.
Must have been a hard kill on the Weaver. He's got Lincoln, so.
That was the most farmed hero in the game, so.
Yeah. They burned Sanities for it, at least. I guess that's one way to solve that problem, but his int isn't too bad himself, so. I'm sure it took a lot. Shivas is the next go for Outworld Devourer. He's got his Hurricane Pike and Blink Dagger now, so definitely more mobile, able to start solo killing.
Phoenix says his Midas.
Oh, that's good. Good for him. Wait, does he? Oh, it's flying out. Okay. You know, I don't think this is awful. It's been an awful Phoenix game, but the timing, I think this is going to overall work out for him. So once you get your Supernova attacks of destroy from 5 to 8, ooh, that's a life difference. Like 3 whole attacks.
Especially this game where there's Weaver is the main hero to kill the egg, but if somehow the Weaver's dead or not there, it's almost certainly living.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Don't even really have like a, you know, like a Bristleback or some BKB hero that's going to run up and hit it in melee range.
What would you do this game for Phoenix items? I'm thinking like maybe Ghost Scepter even, or
Ghost Scepter seems like a pretty value item in general this game.
Not really sure. It's kind of hard to make a decision on it, but
it is tough though, right? Like no matter what you build, you have Weaver and now an Ember with a Blink. That combined with 2 other Blinks, good luck positioning well and not getting caught.
Weaver also has a defusal, so it's probably not worth it.
Oh, that's good.
They're trading hits though. Warcry's been stolen by Fly Solo. That's like the best pushing skill. Creeps are invulnerable. and they do trade at about the same time. That wasn't terrible.
Back when Demon was on EG, there was a game where I think Fear was playing Sven, and it went like, I want to say like 80, 90 minutes, and they would just Warcry the creep wave and let the creeps hit the tower. There was no tree in this game, so yeah, that was their siege method. Brings back
that's safety.
Some old memories, man. That was a long game, though.
So Phoenix will just go the standard thing, go for fast Shivas. It's definitely a good solution. Lower the attack speed, use it before diving. It's Blink Dagger Breaker. That's one of the best things it does, actually.
Blink Dagger Breaker.
But it's finally time for Resolution to look for kills. We're 26 minutes in, but...
And he's going to start now. He does find that Rubik, but there are some reinforcements in the neighborhood. He gets off the lift. Rezo not able to hit him during this time. Moon finally has to come in and clean up, but Armel is on the hunt. He's out for blood. He wants this follow-up kill. Finding Resolution in the trees, gets the Stormbolt off. He does good damage. Rappy pulling a Moon here, whiffs the RP.
Oh, the dodge.
And now Resolution continues his great escape. Rappy no skewer. Armel no chains. And he makes it out. That was quite a mess.
The mess really was how little damage Sven did to that Rubik there. That was nothing. I mean, he had a slightly inefficient blink. He wasted some time turning around, but that guy barely took damage. Maybe he didn't use Mask of Madness or something.
Is it the item build? He went for S and Y. Normally you see...
This is super normal. It's just the time that he got it compared to what his opponent's farm level is, I think.
And Rubik also does have that value earned. So.
Yeah. 2 extra armor can make a difference.
OP.
Yeah. But he might have held the Mask of Madness. That could have been it. Which limits his attack speed. Or maybe he just doesn't do much damage. Not sure. Many Shivas soon. It'll make the game a little bit easier for Odd. Less likely to die to the right clicks from their opponents. But as long as they don't stay too spread and they don't get like 5-man RP'd, I don't think the Empower is going to be that big of a deal this game, other than the fact that it's going to really amplify the farm speed for Ember, but he's not even ahead right now. He's just even with the OD, and even Sven's catching up. I think Odd's in a decent place. I think they can easily still win this game. Maybe not easily. It's going to be a hard fight, but...
They have that big high ground defense, right? Like, if you catch clutch gamers grouped up around the ramp, you hit the combo with the egg, they're not that good at killing the egg, Sven's cleaving, you have a follow-up Berserker's call to extend the Sven's hitting time, then things could fall apart. So, like you said, I think certainly potential here.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Trying to set up for some more kills in the base. And Odd's fishing. They want to catch Ember if possible. He's the easier one.
Oh, apparently Rubik had the stolen Warcry, but
yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
That's absolutely. I did see that, but I totally forgot about it.
Thank you, chat.
20 armor. Yeah, that's why he was so tanky. Makes a lot of sense.
So the game slows down a little bit now.
I think the reason is just because both teams have really good high ground defense. When you said it about Odd, I thought for sure you were going to be talking about clutch gamers, but it's dangerous for both guys.
I'm just not thinking about them defending right now is the main reason why I did bring it up. They're in full-on attack mode.
Yeah. Made their supports work. Maybe a little bit under-leveled at one point, but certainly safe at pushing out lanes.
Roche is up. Gamers are congregating around the pit.
Might get a courier snipe here. Yeah, almost certainly.
Take it easy.
Oh, 100 net worth
Sentry
in the drain.
Got him.
Oh, Sox are already putting living armor on the mid tower. They know exactly what clutch gamers are. And it looks like Clutch knows where Odd is.
Waste this RP. You know, I'm feeling it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Less greedy than trying to pretend deny your butterfly or whatever. Whatever the heck that was.
Not quite as confident. No. Slowly sieging here in the mid lane. They are going to have to commit to make sure they kill this tower off, but the glyph is forced out.
Well, they're kind of splitting half and half here. This could be good. Does Odd see the Rubik? If so, this could be a kill. Resolution's in the area.
Well, they one fly solo. This time he's a
okay. That was a little easier.
Right.
No item change, 2 levels. Yeah, okay, it was the Warcry.
It's a good ability. It's been a deceptively decent Rubik game, like all things considered. You don't look at really any of these abilities like, oh my god, that's a game changer, aside from maybe Overgrowth or something. But happy, all those pump fakes apparently getting into his head, just slightly whiffing here on the RP.
That was so good by Odd to split the map up. Who was it? The Axe got noticed TPing back, so then Rubik hangs out, they get the kill there, then they spread out again. I like that they're not just trying to commit to a full 5v5, they're just looking for their options, and always they have heroes like Saksa trying to be there to be the setup that they might need to catch those opportunities. So I think they're doing a much better job fishing than Clutch Gamers is right now.
And they are doing a better job at rushing for the moment as they start to work in the pit, but it's kind of slow going for them in comparison without the Sven in position. Gabby showing himself here on the high ground. Does lob the swarm out. Just might have gotten a glimpse of Saksa.
Definitely
Still Odd trying to force the issue. They feel stronger on the pit. They do have the level 2 egg now.
They might try to take a free one on Roche, but this is really dangerous. I guess with no RP, this is something they can play around, but I'm sure they'd love to get a kill first.
Gabby's really thinking about to go here on Weehaw. But yeah, like you said, without the RP, it's probably not the best time to be taking that fight.
Oh, he's getting poked from the right. I like Misery's item shift. He's going to go for Halberd instead. A lot safer, actually. A lot cheaper to build than going for Shiva's first. Oh, bug attack. Watch out. Ooh. This thing's fly, man. That's weird.
They're pretty disgusting.
Evasion picked up for Sven. I like the choice against the Ember, the Weaver, Slardar.
MKB will be a must-have. There's already a Solar Crest up on Saksa, so...
I don't really see Ember building it. He's going to go for a Daedalus first, which is probably fine, but I think Weaver may be forced into it later.
Dropping down the sentries in the neighborhood. Looking for Gabby.
Oh, he's going to ult for it. Okay. Rezo ults for the Roche, so really hope they get payoff on this. The RP's actually up now. Oh, and they smoke instantly. They're going in for this.
No vision. Clutch Gamers could have the edge in initiation here. Rezo's in the pit, and Armel jumps in. He gets the eyeballs to start the party. BKB is ready, though, so Resolution going to commit for this. War Crying. Now Gabby jumping as well. Boomback's whiffing on the crush. Clutch Gamers struggling to connect on these big initiating spells. Will tank a Stormbolt. Roshan beating away on that bug as the Roche gets low. And meanwhile, there was an RP, a pretty beautiful strike with Armel cleaving through on top of it. But Rezo not dead just yet. Boomback's trying to hold the line as Gabby snatched the Aegis. The last hit went the way of Planet Odd. Meanwhile, skewering down to the low ground. Magnus will get banished, and Weeha's got to retreat. They did kill the Ember, but they lost the Aegis. They might lose more with Moon getting crushed as well. They've got the follow-up damage from Gabby. He's able to continue pursuit. Moon's got to scurry way up to the high ground. Still, the chase is on, and Rappy looking to lock him down, prevent that blink from going. They purge him, they control him, they bring him down. A 2-for-1. They did lose the Ember, but they stole the Aegis away. Roche kill going the way of Planet Odd.
Really? Okay.
They snatched it.
That's actually all right, I think. I mean, killing the Ember made that very worth it. It took some very, very clutch plays by Odd, no pun intended, but killing Ember on the back line, keeping Sven alive, I think they're semi-content with that. Maybe they should have just committed the Sven ult earlier, especially because by the time they actually went for the Roche, there was such good ward vision there for the Dire team, but never quite getting their sentries in the right place.
Well, the big thing perhaps is not even that fight, but now this tier 2 going down. A gem also picked up by Boomback, so the follow-up map control advantage they can look to claim could set Clutch Gamers up very well for the ensuing follow-up fight.
Yeah, definitely possible. The TP for Ember.
This Weaver is so big. He's out farming a Midas OD already. Closing in on an Eye of Scotty.
Do you see anything that reminds you of this? Last game, it's the same thing, right? Troll Warlord last game, insanely farmed. Same guy, Gabby. This guy farms really, really fast on heroes that don't typically farm rapid. So it's very impressive. He must be doing something special.
8-1-9 as well. He's not dying.
I'm sure that helps, yeah.
Gabby gonna scout things out now. He gets eyes on Misery. Misery's got to jump away. Gets slowed down though. Armel in pursuit. Boomback's there as well. This is a great chasing lineup though. I may have jinxed them. He's gonna miss on the crush, but they don't really need to hit much here. Has to force out the egg immediately. They try to protect it, fight around this thing on the southern side. Sven BKBing, but the banish is there. Actually hurting the Sven as his BKB time largely gets wasted. Gabby's still committing onto Misery even after the egg. They dive out this poor Phoenix. He's gonna hit the shrine, tap it for all he's worth. He's got a time lapse back, but it's into the RP. Rappy is just able to find a few. Do they have the follow-up though? There was no one able to hit during that time. Ember Spirit not dishing out quite enough damage as of yet. Still the pursuit onto Gabby. They can't quite finish the job. They finally bring him down And with the Lincolns now cracked open, he could be in trouble for round 2. Call is there, follow-up blade mail coming through. And they do get the kill. So 3 down with an Aegis. Pretty damn big win for Planet Odd. Looking for more as Boombax and Armel stagger to retreat. Looks like they should make it out. Nice fight one here by Planet Odd.
Definitely scary looking one. The RP felt like a bad moment for Odd, but no damage follow-up there, and all because of the nice play by Sox. I feel like the egg came down, Sox was guaranteeing that the egg goes off, and then the fight spread out heavily. And luckily for Odd that time, the Sven was able to clean up. He killed the Rubik at the start, he separated the Magnus after the RP, and that ended up being easier for Odd.
5x here, a bit lacking on the Dire side. They do have the Mag and the Weaver, but it's a Mag buying back without his ultimate. Even if he does so, Planet Odd sees the initiative. They surge onto the high ground, looking for the lane of Rax, looking for the 2-0 victory. They need this series to stay alive in the tournament. Simultaneously, so too do Clutch Gamers as Resolution beats away on the melee here, rapidly finishing it off. He has committed his BKB, and right as that BKB ends, the timing's perfect. They skewer him back. Moon's there, potentially to the rescue, cleaving together with the spin. The Banish may be saving the day, though. Nicely done by Fly Solo to keep them at least having a shot at taking this fight. Weaver coming back soon. Ember there as well, but being controlled again. It's the egg turning the tides. Ember remnants his way back. The Swarm comes through as they try to deal with Moon. He's low, not dead yet. Weehaw also on the run. Can they finish these fleeing heroes? Even the Phoenix has got to turn tail and run rapidly. Weehaw going for the self-banish. Rezo the TP out. Misery too, winding his way through the trees. Looks like he's likely trapped by Boombax. Crushed, finished off. The OD hammer just a bit short. Won't be able to get Gabby. They've lost 3, but they have taken the melee racks.
All right, I think that's pretty worth it there for Odd. Melee racks grab is solid. And ultimately it came down to just slapping the tower. Rubik got caught out of position. I thought Sven would be able to just cleave through heroes, but it got a little dangerous, and he had to commit the BKB just to get the melee barracks. So that's why it went so sloppy.
This Rubik stealing Astral has been so big in this fight.
Yeah, it really has been. Keeps heroes around longer. It's functioning kind of like a disruptor.
Is this a window, Kevin?
Absolutely. There's no egg.
There's no overgrowth for 20. There's no egg for 50. There's no OD ult for 120.
That's okay. Sven's got this, right?
I might have to buy back. I mean, without the lockdown, does he, though? It's a little scary. How much hitting will he be doing? Perhaps with the overgrowth. That's crucial for Soxa to land this, but it's going to be tough because he doesn't have a Blink Dagger.
Oh, yeah, this is their sentry one. Is it dire sentry on the high ground? No sentries for... Well, he's got one. He just didn't place it.
Well, they're going to back. They don't force the OD buyback.
I think that's fine for them to do. What it feels like to me is that the Ember Spirit's just not being very useful. And I think this is kind of a trap that you fall into a lot of times when you have a Magnus. You're like, oh, I've got all this cleave. Let's get more cleave. It's going to be cool, guys. But then it doesn't do anything to heroes, especially on a hero like Ember Spirit. Your regular attack speed isn't good. You don't really want to stand and just right-click people. And it's not like they're grouped. If they don't get RP'd, it just doesn't feel useful. It would have been better if you bought something else with his Battle Fury, maybe. I mean, I'm not saying go magic damage, but I'm saying buy something else. Even like going Daedalus first or something could have been better, I feel.
Partially a matchup problem with the Sven and Warcry, now an AC picked up as well, but and not to mention a Solar Crest on the tree, so like there is pretty good evasion here.
It's just they
Plate Mail on the Phoenix. They are itemizing to try and counter the
number. But they have all this cleave. You spend 4,000 gold on a Battle Fury, and they're not grouped. It's that simple. Every fight has been so chaotic, all over the place, spread out. And until he gets a big RP and gets a Sleight of Fist and a couple right clicks, which half the time isn't even going to happen, because it's going to be like, I Sleight of Fisted them, and they'll lose half their HP, and then the RP will end by the time he walks into melee range to hit him more. So I think they're going too all in on this this cleave thing. I just haven't felt Ember's presence outside of his skill usage, which means that his farm is pretty much not doing anything.
It's a rapier time.
That's one way.
Yeah, it still doesn't even have the Daedalus yet, so not willing to commit.
Still think the Lincolns was fine, but he's trying too hard to be a Sven, basically. He sees that big burly guy over on the other side of the giant sword.
I could do that too.
And they're set up to take the tower if needed. Move all the way over.
And Odd taking down the last outer tower on the map. They do have that one melee rax advantage, so creeps in their favor. But by no means is that the game winner at 41 minutes.
Yeah. Sox in a good spot as well to try to break smokes. Nothing happens though, and good wards over there too. Most of these old actually, so that was actually just a really convenient time for them to pressure that lane. And a rare spell amp pickup for Phoenix, actually. Kind of cool to see. Maybe would have considered the armor considering that there's a Weaver and a Slardar, but Supernova and a little bit of Halberd usage kind of covers that too.
And Odd want to take advantage of that lane that got pushed in. They got rid of one shrine, looking for another. Clutch Gamers will defend.
Oh, there's a bad sign. You know what happens when fake pumps these.
He's trying to get the bad mojo out of his system.
I see.
So, like you said, it's not been working for him well so far.
Resolution pushing out the bot lane. And just Planet Odd's doing such a good job avoiding Clutch Gamers, knowing approximately where they're going to be standing. Don't give them an opportunity to take a team fight until you see a good opportunity. And they've almost got a Hex on OD. They did spot the Rubik in the pit. They're thinking about going in.
We jumps in, deploys the Shivas, and ooh, a tasty double damage rune.
Clutch Gamers vacuum themselves on the cliff here.
And Rezo's gonna jump in. He really wants this shrine. He gets quickly thrown back. Solo able to steal Warcry. That's
okay.
pretty.
That was smart.
Spell.
I like that he pressured this so much, and this was like an active thing. This is like 3 minutes of doing. Now that the Shrine's down, Roche is up very soon, and now they have this big tactical advantage because they can buy back and TP to Shrines and their opponents can't. That is easily the biggest advantage that they got out of this Rax here. Makes the every other Roche grab and therefore team fight after that easier. So good moves by them. And they have a gem of their own finally. It's on Soxa, so map control's gone, Shrines are gone, Roche should be theirs this time.
Still Clutch Gamers, not really showing signs of a contest. Rubik lurks in the mid lane, looks like Resolution wants to make a go on him. Or at least push that lane in, set up for this Roche. But the bottom lane's being pushed, pressured a bit by Armel, who finally, if he wanted to, could pick up the data list, but would be lacking the buyback, should he choose to complete it. A bit hesitant, Gabby shoving that mid lane right back in. They are rotating towards the pit. The Swarm not going to quite reach it, unfortunately. Armel's in the neighborhood. Dire Scan not finding anything up the hill, so they're feeling a little bit safer to go in. Gabby scurries forward. Sven bending away, though. He's grabbed the Aegis already. We, the one to claim it. And the Roche is Planet Odds. So Gabby wants to fight, though. They're thinking about it. Can they really take this fight? They're moving in like they want to. Seems very risky.
Yeah, that is super risky. They actually do back and smoke though, so this is the moment that they're going to try to take. In some ways this is good, because they'll never expect it.
From Clutch Gamers, Planet Odd should not see this coming. 3 have gone back to the base. 2 are still pushing. I imagine about to TP out. No TP on the Phoenix for now. The tree unlikely to be found. Misery will grab it. They wrap all the way around. So no beefy cores available for the taking, but maybe a lower support could be theirs. The Rappies smoke is in danger of being broken without detection in the neighborhood. Already the tree is gone though, and Misery TP out. So it was a bold thought, but not one that Planet Odd are going to succumb to.
And they're just reading Clutch Gamers right now in their movement. Consistently the case. Level 25 for Sven, a little bit more damage. This is actually very needed. This is not the Sven from the other game, that's for sure. It's hitting a little soft, but with the follow-up heart, it's going to be really strong.
Super value item.
It's make me starting to think again about Clutch Gamers' damage problem. Ember Spirit, yes, you could get lucky and get some really solid cleaves, but if you just never land the RP, if they don't get grouped up through their own errors, then I think it's just a straightforward odd win here. Just spread out, keep farming, and do what you need to do.
I mean, patience kind of is what they need right now. They have to find that big RP.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's going to be hard to grab odd.
High ground, probably the dream scenario to do it in. But if they siege this right, just put the Sven out in front. It might not be so easy. And Boombacks, he just charges in. He actually finds Resolution. They're looking for the skewer back. Unfortunately, the angle's not quite right, and now the Magnus has been called out. They can lift him up, though. Did not BKB. Perhaps the turn is here. Resolution already down half his health. RP gets followed up. Where's the combo for this? Armel has the sleight of fist. He crits his way through. Good damage done onto Resolution, who's now on the run all of a sudden. The BKB's on cooldown. He's not hitting anymore. Gabby can pursue. Chase him out. Control him with the Purge. Try and finish him off. They can kite him nicely. The OD's out of the picture for the time being. Gabby's all in on this. He wants this Resolution kill. The egg gets dropped. Trying to save him with the banish. Charging forward with the Sakuchi. Resolution still being focused down. He's finished off indeed. They got the cleave. They had the connection. The egg's been stolen. It's been turned against them. They're roasting underneath this. Misery's got to cheese and run away. He's going to get caught out. Weeha's in danger too. Drops the hammer to little avail. That's round one. And now time for numero dos as they bring him back, drop him up and down, twist him all around. He banishes himself. He delays the inevitable, but top lane's pushing. They can maybe go straight for a potential lane of Rex to force these buybacks out. They get the OD. He's out for 100. No buyback either. A coup. A massive coup for Clutch Gamers.
And that was just a big miscommunication from them. The OD was on the bot lane farming to try to get buyback money, but then Sven started to fight, even going so far as to blink into the enemy base, and that was not the right time for them to take a fight. Weehaw had to run all the way from the bot lane to the mid lane to get there, and he was certainly late. Now they got to get in their base and prevent this Rax from happening.
Dangerous moment here for him, and also maybe for Soxa. They've got the detection. They're scouting him out. They're finding these follow-up kills, and man, he melts with that corrosive haze in play. Moon gets the blink call, but it's a bit late. Planet Odd, the story of this game, just going in one at a time for most of it. They had that brief window of coordination, but now they're down 50. No tree, no OD. At this point, Kevin, there's so much farm on Clutch Gamers. Like, they might be able to get 2-3 lanes of Rax. Maybe even Megas are in store, especially if Ember wants to buy back. He doesn't know about these lack of buybacks, but still no sign of a defense from Planet Odd. A confident position from FlySol. I think they're expecting the buybacks. They're just not coming. Gabby's working on the melee Rax here. Finally, Moon's going to blink in. Sven's coming back soon. He's got the he's got the cleave! Resolution says, I don't need my OD. I don't need my tree. They'll find two just like that. You blink, you'll miss it, and now Boomback's going to be the third. Planet Odd. It ain't over yet, they say. A quick triple as Resolution holds the line.
Don't even need a Magnus.
Planet Odd alive.
Don't need a Magnus, don't need a Darkseer. They just get together sometimes, and that's all it takes. Instant TP from Sven. He was there at the perfect time and throws out a stun just as Clutch Gamers initiate.
They're not going to be able to get these shrines either. Living armor, at least for now, keeping the one alive.
They can definitely work towards them, but across the map they go. 3 dead heroes, and it's time to take a Ranger Barracks at the least.
Armel looking for the Octarine now. Really wants that ultra low cooldown Sleight of Fist. Did also take the cooldown reduction too. His Resolution marches through mid. Will take out the range. He's in pretty far. Has the BKB. But they lift him to start things off. They might be able to chain stun him decently here. The Corrosive Haze come through. The stolen egg turned against Resolution at the critical moment. He's going to BKB, commit for this. They want to kill that egg. They will do so. Good decision making. Odd. Very decisive here when they need to be. Armel though, kiting Resolution out. They're going to need the Weaver's support. He hasn't fought back just yet. There's the banish. Recommitment forward, and a nice blink skewer. Catches him out. The RP somehow not connecting on Weehaw. He's able to walk away. Magnus not facing quite the right direction. Resolution goes back in, but this time no BKB. He can be kited a little more effectively. Weeper's up in 5, and Odd really want to get out. The egg comes down, directly to the top of Fly Solo. It's a tieback for the Rubik overextension. Perhaps with disastrous consequences, but they go in again. 2-hero crush. Where's that Armel cleave? Waiting for the cooldown. He gets overgrowth. He gets controlled for now, and Rezo's back into the fray. But they're working on the Weaver. Very tanky, very difficult to take down. Time lapse available, but the hammer prevents it. He has the buyback again if he needs it out for 100. I don't think he has a choice. He's got to try to win this fight now. I don't think they'll have another. Ember gets the chains. Weaver's back in, and they find 2, making it ultra for the Ember, cleaving them through. Clutch Gamers stay alive, just like that. The crits when you need them.
My God, back and forth fight, and at the last moment, it looked like they were going to be able to pull through, but they finally got work down. They got out of the base, they kept getting their armor lord, but they just couldn't get the right team fight at the end. And that's like the worst place to fight, right in that little pit. High ground in front of you, high ground behind you. And once they kept getting engaged upon, it was just so difficult for Odd to fully retreat. Once the egg was down, And once they didn't have time to just fully heal and re-engage.
This is very risky by Clutch Gamers, though, knowing they hardly have any buybacks at this point. They've committed some of their biggest ones. They're still going to push straight down to mid. They want this lane of Rex. They're thinking about the commitment to the melee, and they will go for it. Armel poking and prodding. They force out the X buyback, but there's more waiting. Planet Otter just waiting for that good blink call, and then they'll go. But he's not going to have the opportunity to do it if he gets changed, quickly cleansing that off. And now they commit. Armel jumping in. Oh, that's a bold move, my friend. And this time I'll hit him with the change to get the melee. Still Moon not able to find the opening to prompt these buybacks. So that's a one-lane answer back. They look for a second. Now it's Gabby on the top. And Soxa moves in. Do they have detection? Do they have a way to spot him out? Armel out in front. The vanguard for this push. Gabby, not really the carry you want to initiate on. Might have to be. A little zip here, a little zap there. Armel makes it back to safety. And now the commitment. The Weaver gets caught.
Oh, he's really low.
But the RP's there. It's pretty good. Where's the Sven? They're going to need that damage for Reza. They're going to need it now. They commit the egg. They chop away. Weaver's out for 2 minutes. It's a long time to be gone for that crucial bug. As Team Planet Odd start to storm towards mid, the rat is going to commence, Kevin. It's Armel to the bottom lane.
Well, they still have the Ember at least. They've still got Magnus, but no RP.
Spend your gold. 10,000 gold.
Who's got 10K? Oh, jeez. He's queued up the Rapier. It's definitely about that time here. It's a little dangerous, though. If that falls into Sven's hands, that is a huge threat against them. But they've got good disable. It's time, guys. It's Rapier Dota time. Clutch Gamers.
In a while, somewhere Jackie Mao is smiling. And Kevin, he's got a double damage.
It's only 118 damage. Big deal.
Every little bit helps. Give this man the empower.
But this ward on the high ground is actually so big here. This could be Rubik's death. They're going in.
No buyback available on Fly Solo. Instantly gets chunked down. They're going to have to do it. Down 2. Ember's big, but is he big enough? The Corrosive Haze will help. Sven working on the tower for now. He does get crushed. You got to find that opening for Rappy. It's tough, though, with this power play. They move in with Moon. Whiffs on the call. Clutch Gamers outgunned. Underman 50 seconds without the combo, but they do have a decent RP. Good banish to counter. It's only Moon in danger. Armel jumping in again. He doesn't have the control. The crush might save him. No, the overgrowth cuts him off. Rapier hits the deck.
And that's
surely. That's all she wrote. He'll buy back. He'll try, but now Sven with a Rapier. Suddenly a 17,000 gold lead, and Planet Odd snatching victory from the jaws of defeat, surging in, thrown in jeopardy. It's going to melt in a matter of seconds here. They hang on. They try, but it's not enough. The road ends now for Clutch Gamers. They are not going to the playoffs.
Planet Odd getting a much-needed win that can keep them into contention. They still need to get another one after this.
They are looking so shaky, though. It's like,
yeah,
it's really hard to see them advancing, but hey, a win is a win. It's something to build on.
And the next team that they play, the last team that they play that they need to beat to guarantee they stay in the tournament is Invictus Gaming, and that's